You're most welcome. We're honored to have you on stage, Hema. That's your mic. And before we talk about politics, we talk about this election, we talk about history of the state. Why don't you, for us, you're a playback singer, you're a renowned playback singer. Maybe start off with something which represents the spirit of Goa. We are right next to the shores here, the beach. What represents your state as a citizen of Goa?
Yeah, hi, Preeti. It's so good to be here with you, especially since it's in Goa and right near the beach. So this is a beautiful Legend Chris Perry song, which I've sung. Kitle sobit goamche, meoche na dusre shar khuiche, sobita inte bollele, ani sogliate chete mogache, dene amka te devache, soda swing marun rauche. Goika dorami asod goat, te zaukne zore vaitanche. I added the last part.
What does it mean? A lot of us were watching it in, say, other parts of the country. What does what you just sang for us? Would you give us the ethos of this?
It means Goa is the most beautiful place in the whole world. Everybody adores it. And we'll always be one, and we'll never let the bad influence us or get to us.
Well, it's quite apt for this election, or every election.
Righto.
But that prompts me to ask you, Hema Sardesai, you've been a part of Goa, its society, for so very long, right? Every time you look at Goa's politics, it's very different from the rest of the country, understandably so, because your history is very different than the rest of the country. But the kind of politics it's very different than what your cultural ethos stands for. MLAs get bought out overnight, defections. The last 6 decades of your politics, you've had the maximum number of chief ministers than any state has had. As a citizen, how do you look at that?
I think it's basically we are a very loving sort of people, and that adds to the simplicity that we have inside us, which we allow. There's some things that are so spiritual, and it may sound so huge when I'm saying it, but yes, there is this chalta hai, theek hai, let it go on, it's okay. And it does. No, we're not susegad. There is a misconception. We're not susegad. It's just that we let it go. It's okay. We're not running. We're not like rats running in any race. And we do react. But there is an issue here, Preeti. There are some who are maybe the defectors, or maybe they're bad, or whatever you call them, whatever you want to judge them as. The deal with them is that some of them have helped the people who are voting for them. And maybe Goans are just showing their gratitude when they bring them back, and that's okay.
For somebody who goes out and votes, who's a citizen and not a politician, I want to ask you, you guys are so embedded in activism. Most of the people that I speak to in Goa, normal citizenry, are very passionate about, your flora and fauna, your heritage, that entire campaign which ran on North Goa, all of that. Why doesn't one see that kind of representation politically?
Well, I just explained that. The thing is, most of us may be grateful for what has been contributed to their families or to them. So when it comes to voting, they have to choose. It's a dharam sankat, what you call a dharam sankat. You have to choose between the badness of the person and what he has done for you. So that's where the confusion, and that's why we still have all sorts of people being voted for. And it's okay. I mean, ultimately, Goa is always going to shine, and Goa has people like us standing by strongly.
Do you think the politics of your state, the politicians of your state have done enough for your state? Or exploited your state?
Late Manohar Parrikar ji, he did immensely great for the state. I'm very, very proud to even say his name and utter it. And I look forward to voting for his son, Utpal Manohar Parrikar, a deserving candidate. And Panjim owes that to Manohar Bhai, for sure.
So you're going to support Utpal Parrikar. Clearly
100%, 100%, yes.
But for someone, now we're talking about Utpal Parrikar, and we're going to go into, but I want to ask you this question first. Why Utpal Parrikar? Utpal Parrikar was, never really wanted to join politics, was never really interested till now. Why him?
I don't think you would be right, dear, when you say he was not interested. He was not in the foray, okay? Yeah, because there were other things. He is growing in his own life. He's doing things for his own life. And if he feels the concern to be there for the people when he talks, from the talk, you know there's the genuinity, the sincerity, and that same kind of strength he exudes, which his father did. I think he's a worthy candidate any which ways. And if you look at the other candidates, lesser said the better.
Should the BJP have gone with him?
100%.
All right, so Hema, we're going to slightly digress from politics because, you've brought Goa on Bollywood's map with so many songs that you've sung.
Thank you, sweetie.
We were actually sitting at breakfast and everyone from the crew had like one request. So, I'm going to allow you to pick one and then I'm going to try and get you to sing a few. So, if from your entire repertoire of songs or your entire work body, what is your favorite?
Well, let me tell you, happy times for Bollywood also, and you can say for me, if I'm happy with what I can do with those songs, because like my song, Avara Bhavre has always been loved till date. But right now, Jangale Aadhi Raat Hai is the biggest grind going on all over India. The most videos from on all social media is Jangale Aadhi Raat Hai, my song from BB #1. And Badal Pe Paun Hai from Chak De India. My song is even being played everywhere where Miss Universe goes and in the topmost shows and events all over India and everywhere, even today, right now. So I can sing that for you guys.
Sure, yes.
सोचा कहाँ था ये जो हो गया माना कहाँ था ये लो हो गया झुटकी कोई काटो ना है हम तो होश में कदमों को थामो ये है उड़ते जोश में बादल पे पाँव है या छूटा गाँव है अब तो भाई चल पड़ी उत्पल और सावियो रॉड्रिग्स वेलिंग की नाव है Utpal, Parrikar and Savio Rodriguez of Wailing. Yes, I stand by you. Whoa, 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 Goa, you rock.
Thank you, Hema.
Thank you, Preeti. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Hema, how was it growing up in Goa in terms of, we've always come, some look at it as a party destination, some look at it as just putting their feet up. It draws you. It's got that lure. But being Goan, how was it growing up in Goa? What is the actual cultural ethos of Goa?
What can I tell you? Sitting outside my veranda as a child, singing out in the afternoon when every Goan has his little siesta. We all do. And, my parents saying, oh, you're going to disturb everybody, but my beautiful neighbors from every religion, as you say, I don't believe in this word religion, of course, but if they are from whatever religion, so much of love, so much of adoration, so much of encouragement. What can I say? My teachers in school pushing me, Goa has, all of them have contributed to Hema's life. So whatever I'm today, with God's blessings, the Goans have a big say in this.
Hema, we've seen that in politics and we want to know, is it something which comes in from, a grassroots level where there is an aversion? Goa is very, very welcoming. Goans are very, very welcoming to people who come to Goa. But there is an aversion when it comes down to the outsider. And we've seen that politically as well. Is it something which comes from the ground,
Actually, it's just a little worry, because Goa is small, there's hardly any land left, and locals are deservingly to be on their soil, right? They have their rights to be on this soil. So there is a little kind of a worry. But at the same time, like you said, we are, despite of all of that, very welcoming. We have some of the people who have not understood the difference between, that's all over India. Not only in Goa, all over India, we have not understood the difference between tourists, and the people who come to live in your state. So once that is kind of deciphered and corrected, I think everybody would be fine with the tourists coming. And they are, like you said, very loving. We are just naturally so loving. So welcoming and sweet.
But there is now a push which is coming from a grassroots level as well, which wants to protect Goa for Goans. There is a huge rally cry, especially we've seen this through the campaign in this election as well.
I think there's a lot of unrest in some of them, but if they're doing and thinking good for Goa, I welcome that. Yeah, I've been an activist myself, as you know. I've taken up the
Yes.
biggest of one of the most dangerous things up, issues up and stuff like that, where people literally were telling me we're worried about your life, but right now and never, there's no fear.
And why didn't you look at translating your activism into politics?
The biggest compliment I receive whenever I go into many offices today is like our future CM is here, but no.
No aspiration.
Not in politics as yet. At least I am already working for my people and I'm giving my life. I have always done that. I lost my most precious diamond 14 months ago, but if I survive that, I can survive anything. And the survival is, you look forward to what else you can do for the people, because if our masters, as you say, whether it was from Buddha to Krishna to Jesus to everybody, only looked for doing something for the people, if we don't do that, we can't call ourselves religious at all. So I'm just doing what I have to do, and people telling me live for yourself is never going to work.
My condolences. You did mention, you mentioned your husband, if I'm not wrong. We're sorry. My condolences. You've come out with, out of that very, very strongly, Hema, and I wish you, and I guess as India Today, we wish you very, very well.
What we exude is something that is meant to make the world a more happier and smiling place, and it's not about yourself anymore. So, it's all about making everybody else happy.
Would you, can I request you to sing Avara Bhavre? Because that has been, the biggest request here.
Yeah, sure.
आवारा भवरे जो हौले हौले गाए फूलों के तन पे हवाएं सरसराए कोयल की कुहू कुहू पपीहे की पीहू पीहू जंगल में चींगर की जाए जाए.
This happens all over Goa, as you know. Yeah.
You are right. We were also excited that finally we had a conclave in Goa. Work rarely brings you to Goa. So,
Yes.
But
Happy to see you here.
well, thank you. Everybody's been very welcoming to all of us. Hema, I want to come back to you're very active in terms of where citizenry is concerned, citizen activism is concerned. This election, there's so much talk of every political party has their own manifesto. For the first time, I would reckon Goa has a list of freebies being offered in various, from electricity to, to money being given to women. There's a lot going on. What is it that's most important in the checklist of a Goan citizen today?
I think, first of all, Goans are naturally quite intelligent. Yeah, but like I said, they have that spiritual side and that easy side. It's okay, man. We'll manage this. We'll get through it. We'll be okay with it. At the same time, it's all we have to do is focus on the people. I would like my Goans to look at the person, not the parties. Just look this time. Just look at the person who you're going to vote for. Look at his credentials, look at what he can do for Goa, for you, how genuine he is, and if you really feel, okay, fine, he's touched your life, but how is he going to destroy other lives? That's also to be taken into consideration. So look, I request my Goans, look at the person, like I'm looking at Utpal Parrikar, I'm looking at Savio Rodriguez, I'm looking at the people who I know can carry Goa to another level, to the best level possible.
So the advice you'd possibly give to every Goan voter this time is vote for the candidate, not for the party.
Absolutely right.
Yeah?
You got it.
So vote for the candidate, not for the party.
Yeah.
All right. In terms of civic issues, are they big for Goans?
Yes, I've been sorting out a few myself. I was nominated Swachh Bharat Ambassador for Goa. So I have been doing my own bit. And there is lots to be done, but Goa is much better off than most states in India. It's already much better off. It's okay. We'll get there.
Does it bother you that, the word that goes out usually after elections is, they say that the results might come on the 10th of March, but the government will only be made in a few days. The fact that your MLAs, your candidates, could actually be bought, it's something which is often said.
That's happening all over India. It's
not
not. It's
something
not
which-
just Goa.
not
please.
just Goa.
Yeah. And I think in many parts of the world. So nothing to really. I think I'm okay with whatever's going on as long as for the betterment of Goa. That's all that matters. I mean, even as a great man, our leader who's with God now, one of the greatest leaders India ever had, our ex-defense minister, he also had to do some compromises for the betterment of Goa. For the betterment of Goa, like he said, we have sometimes to even deal and combine with crooks to get Goa going. So everything for the betterment of Goa is okay. As long as the people, when they're voting, they're responsible enough to know, and they know, they do know, that they have to vote for the good person, the person that's going to take Goa and them ahead. In the
Hema,
right way.
I wish you could go on chatting. I have 5 minutes, and I'm going to just leave it for you to sing, some fabulous songs for us. But I'm going to leave it up to you to pick the best that you want to. And maybe, we could end with a Goan song, but please go ahead. Let's do 3. Is it too much to ask?
No.
Okay, great.
I've just also, I think I must have gone through COVID. I don't know. There's no one
That's
with me
literally all
to
of
get
us
me to
here.
check. My sweetheart Shanita, she's there. She just brought me my shoes, and I thank her. So yeah, this is for my Goa. I will sing the song that we all love, and that is
Undram jamama ariam sangta tuka ani mazori chapilya lagi fed mandinaka undir mama ailo ani baji panagliplo ani mazori chapilya teka ega gasan hailo.
and there was a song tuned with many of our the Bollywood songs that are huge hits are Goan songs taken into this.
बम्बई से आया सो दिल्ली से आया मेरा दोस्त को सलाम करो रात को खाओ पियो दिन को वोटिंग करो.
Correct आदमी के लिए.
Thank you. We're going to one more song, and I'll let you go. I promise.
One more
Anything.
song?
One more. Just one. Pick any
Okay,
one you want to.
the grind that is going on right now, and Anu Malik ji, he has made a comment on the song and said it's the best song ever sung for me. So
जंगल है आधी रात है लगने लगा है डर दुनिया को भूल जाऊं कुछ ऐसी बात कर.
my Goans.
जंगल है आधी रात है लगने लगा है डर दुनिया को भूल जाऊं कुछ ऐसी वोटिंग कर.
Well, we're going to leave it at that. Thank you, Hema Sardesai.
Thank you, Preeti. It's lovely talking to you. You're a sweetheart.
Thank you so much. And we're going to leave it with the advice that Hema Sardesai, who is going to vote on the 14th of February.
Absolutely.
You guys will have quite a
Yeah.
cool Valentine's
Yes,
Day.
voting for Utpal Manohar Parrikar.
All right. Okay, so Hema Sardesai is voting for Utpal Parrikar. We leave it for our viewers and the Goan voters to decide.
Yeah, they have to go to their consciences of what Manohar Parrikar ji has done for them, for sure.
All right. And we leave it with her advice that let vote for the candidate, not for the parties, what Hema Sardesai is saying. All right. Thank you, Hema. Appreciate it.
sweetheart.
Thank
God
you
bless
so
you.
much.
Thank you, everybody in India today. God bless you.
Thank you.
Yeah.